Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all well. Lovely to see so many people joining us. It's truly humbling. Good morning, Peter, David, Carol. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Michael. Lovely to see you. Good morning, Mervyn, coming in. Must be a bit late. Lovely to see you, Mervyn, looking so well. Who's A.L.? I don't know who that is. Okay. So I want to share with you, today's learning is dedicated, as always, in honor and memory of all those that we would be saying Kaddish for during their year, and for those that have Yortzeit. We wish, as always, a refuah shalema to those that are unwell, in particular in our community, to Ruth Tunkel and to Andy Raven, amongst all the others in our community and further afield that are unwell. So, Parshas Vayishlach. Vayishlach is the parsha when it comes to discussing and understanding about so many fundamental concepts and precepts relating to our faith and to our daily lives. Let me share with you just one. So we know that Jacob found himself in this with Esau approaching on the war footing, and he divided the camps, and he finds himself, Yaakov levadoi. Yaakov found himself quite alone, right? He's ferried the people across, he split the camps, he's now alone in the middle of the night. Vayavek ishimo ado lo tashacha. And he struggled with a mystery adversary that attacked him in the middle of the night. And he struggled, wrestled with this mystery adversary throughout the night. Adalos Hashach, until the morning, friends. Until the morning. Good morning, Martin and Richard and Rachel, still joining us. So he's having this encounter, this struggle, this wrestling match, and all of a sudden, he won't let go of him. And this mystery adversary says, "Let me go because it's now morning and I need to go." And he dislocated Jacob's thigh, which is why we don't eat the sinew of the thigh till this day. And Jacob asked this mystery adversary, who of course was a celestial being, the angel of Esau, they say, or the angel, or the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. And he asked him, Mashmecha, what's your name? And the man said, why do you ask my name? Okay, and then he blesses Jacob. No, your name should no longer be Jacob. It will be Israel. Okay, and yet we know that Jacob continued to be called both by the names of Jacob and Israel. What's going on? The mystery deepens. It's perplexing, baffling, mind-blowing. How do we understand such an epic encounter? So, friends, I want to share with you one approach. There are many, but it's perhaps one of the ones which resonates with me the most. And that is as follows. This was Jacob's, firstly, we should state the obvious, which is whatever happened to our forefathers was a forerunner of what would happen to us. The concept in Judaism is Maisa Avos Simon Labonim, what happened, history repeats itself, what happened with the forefathers was an inevitability that it would manifest itself in the Jewish people's lives in the future. And therefore, this was an encounter, a struggle between Jacob and his Yetzer Hara, his evil inclination. So when Jacob asked, Jacob was struggling with none other than himself. And when he asked the celestial being, in other words, his negative side of himself, which he was struggling with throughout the night, when he asked him, Ma shemecha, right? And when you asked him, what's your name? And imagine I asked you, what's your name, Martin? And you replied to me, well, Lama zetishalish, why do you ask my name? Right? What do you mean? Why? I want to know who you are. I want to know who Martin is. Don't tell me, why do you ask my name? That's not an answer. And the truth is that when this celestial being responded to Jacob's question of what's your name and said, why do you ask my name? Friends, listen to this. That was the true answer. That was the name That was an accurate, it wasn't a bluff, it wasn't being vague. Lama zeh tishalishmi, why are you asking my name? Is the name. That is the name. What do I mean? I mean that when we are dealing with our negative side, when we are dealing with the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, it morphs and mutates in so many different ways. We all know it. And therefore, it doesn't have a fixed abode. It doesn't have a fixed address. It changes in every single twist and turn of life. We find a different guise, because if an enemy is known, if you know what's coming your way, then obviously you can put up the drawbridge, you can attack, you know how to defend yourself. But where it is that it's a covert enemy, you're not quite sure when it's going to come, how it's going to come, is it going to behave as a friend or a foe? Then that is the greatest danger. And in fact, our sages tell us of blessed memory that the celestial being, the evil inclination, sometimes it appears as a Talmud Chacham, as a wise sage. Sometimes it appears as an evil person. In other words, sometimes what appears to us as our best friend, right, can also be negative in some way. So therefore, we have to be on our guard constantly. Jacob became Yisrael. Yisrael, the word for Israel, the Jewish people, means that kisarita, because I have succeeded, I have overcome, right? But yet at the same time, Jacob remains with the name Jacob, which means I struggle, right? And life is about both those elements in us being able to move forwards in terms of overcoming the challenges of life, the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, the hurdles and challenges that God puts in our way, so that we should develop ourselves and become even greater. And therefore, on the one hand, we succeed. We are able to look back and see where we've come from. On the other hand, we are able to recognize we're still struggling. We still have so much toxicity, so many blemishes, failings, weaknesses in our personality. We're short-tempered, we're impatient, we are not as generous as we can be, and we don't speak the way we should be. The list goes on and on. I could speak from here to the cows come home, and I'm just speaking about myself, of course. And therefore, there are so many areas for us to work on. But that's the point. The lesson that Jacob teaches us, friends, listen to what's being said. Jacob's encounter with this celestial being, at least on one level, was a struggle within himself. And I don't need to tell you, through COVID, it has held a mirror up to us. We are all strugglers. We are all Jacobs. We all have our own struggles in life. There is nobody who's truly living who it doesn't struggle with one thing in one way or another. And therefore, please God, we should all be blessed to have the strength. Not that we shouldn't have struggles, not that we shouldn't face hurdles, but that we should have the koiches, we should have the strength of character and of conviction to be able to be determined and to overcome whatever hurdles are placed in our way. And in this way, please God, we will all be able to say at the end of our lives, Ki sarita, I have been successful, I have accomplished, I have overcome the obstacles, the hurdles in the vicissitudes of life. We've become a Yisrael in all senses. So that's my blessing, my bracha to you. Let me just see if I can find the sheet with the Psalm 23. Here it is. Say with me as follows, the Song of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even as I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You set a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the length of days. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our learning program once again. And now we'll say the memorial prayer. Adon olamim zachoes nishmoi shalchuli olamam anabalarachamim. והסביב סייסקן הפך לעולמים ויצוב סחים וסשמסם ויענוך המשכמסם בשלום ונאמר amen. We wish everyone long life. And lastly, we push Shlema prayer. Misha Berach Abseinu Ram Yisrael Yaakov Moshe Aaron V'Shlomo Yivarach Eretz Chayilim. Avram B'Milyon Sister. בעבור, שאנו מתפללים בעבורם, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם, לחם ולפוצם, וישלח להם רפואה שלמה ונשמעים לכל בריאים בסוף שחר ישראל, רפואת הנפש, רפואת הגוף, השבח הזמן קרב ונאמר, amen. Lovely to see you. Keep safe, keep well, look after yourselves, keep growing, keep going, and please God, we'll succeed together. Ki Sarita, we are Israel. Take care.